Hi guys, so this is Jerry. I wanted to come on here and say hi to you guys. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time. And today I wanted to talk about psychic gifts and abilities, and the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because there is a lot of energies going around, including the sun. Most importantly, the sun is hitting us very hard, and that is pretty much like a direct link from our ancestors. It's a direct link from all the souls that are embodying the sun and just hitting us on a daily basis, and it's just a really big upsurge in psychic abilities and gifts that we're all receiving. And I want to talk about this because maybe you are feeling this as well, or you're about to feel yourself coming online, your psychic abilities, your supernatural powers, however you would like to say it is. But for me, I've been noticing this for the past 2 years, and it's just becoming more and more transparent that yes, I am going back online with my psychic powers. I am developing every single day, and it's just becoming more and more present. So if you are a woman, then that just means naturally you are psychic. You are part of this Mother Earth, and you were born psychic. And the lower version, or the lesser version I should say, is basically being intuitive. And we know women are all intuitive unless that woman decides to give her power away to materialism, or she decides to give it away to a person and she becomes less intuitive. She's not listening to her inner voice, her gut, her heart, and she loses her innate powers. And they're just even more enhanced if you're here on Earth, because this is a woman planet. And for me, I can notice that all of the clairs for me and telepathy have really been coming online. And since I was a kid, I would have to say that almost all of the clairs have been really present, including clairsentience. I think clairsentience and being an empath are kind of similar, but I think clairsentience is a little bit more intense. You start to feel a lot of the energies that are around the magnetic field or the field of a person. And that's why you kind of know if this person is good, you should hang out with them or not. And yeah, it's just a little bit different. And the telepathy I wanted to talk about because I think it's very interesting that in our ancient civilization, we didn't really need to speak that much. We didn't really need to use as many words, but it's not where words come into your mind, like someone is coming into your mind and saying the words like a text message. It's more like you already know what that person is trying to tell you, and you already know what the person is trying to show you. So you might be shown some images, you might have a feeling over your body, but telepathy is kind of powerful. And I just wanted to give you just quick two examples of like what has been happening to me. But me and my boyfriend are very connected, so I would say that he's probably the person that I am most telepathic with right now, because we just we're in a space together, and I know for sure that we're being telepathic because I will think of something so detailed, and then all of a sudden my boyfriend next to me will just speak it out loud. He will just say exactly what I was thinking. And sometimes it's kind of funny. I will say to myself, I wish my boyfriend would take out the trash right now, or I wish he would do this, and then he almost automatically tells me, like maybe a minute later, like, hey, do you want me to go take out the trash? So I know the telepathy is very strong between him, and you guys are probably also feeling it with your loved ones or someone that you feel very close to. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how to strengthen it, so please make sure you watch everything. I'm going to tell talk about how to strengthen your telepathy if that's what you wish to do. Another telepathy story, just really quickly, was also with my students, because I was a high school teacher and I try not to influence people. I try not to push my energy onto people or try to influence people. But when you're working really closely with others and you collaborate, sometimes telepathic messages or links do happen. And for my students, it's really funny. It's kind of embarrassing to say, but like there was this one day I thought I looked really ugly, and I probably was not looking my best that day, but I entered a new classroom. So it was students I never connected with. I was subbing for that teacher, and I just entered the room and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here. And the room was really dead silent. And I think that's the first thing you need to do with telepathy if you want to work on it, is try to learn how to be silent. The students were really tired in the morning and they don't really want to do anything, so I didn't really do anything either. I just sat there thinking about how ugly I was. And towards the end, a student came up to me and he's like, wow, you look so pretty. And I'm like, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And I was like, oh my gosh, my telepathy is like hitting students, even though I really don't want to do that to people, but sometimes it just naturally happens. The psychic gifts and abilities are all innate in people that are from the earth, that are organic to the earth. If you guys want to tell me what gifts you have been seeing, what things you have been seeing, please let us know down in the comments. But I also wanted to mention that this is an upspike in the solar flares. This is due to the resonance. The Schumann Resonance right now is masculine resonance. It's Schumann Resonance right now, but it should be Schumann Tefna. So there's a masculine and a feminine balance on the earth, but currently it is not that way. But when it turns to Shu Tefna in the future, I'm not sure when, I'm sure that there will be an upsurge in our innate gifts. And yeah, guys, this is what I wanted to talk about. Please let me know what you have been seeing, what you have been feeling. A lot of us are feeling a lot more tired just because of the amount of energy. The dome over the earth, because there was a dome placed over the earth to basically turn this into a prison planet. You could call it the draconian grid, or you could call it
so you have the ultimate physical particles of which matter is constituted of, which is basically carbon, because carbon is the building block of all civilization. So when you're encapsulated inside of a dome, that traps light, and when you trap light, that creates photons, and the photonic energy is being facilitated by carbon, because the photon hydrogen atom creates electrons, and electrons create elements, and elements create molecules, and molecules create organs, and organs create organ systems, and those organ systems creates third density, right? We're going to get into that. I hope I'm not losing you here. So, when you're talking about the dome, when you're talking about everything as far as like, us being spiritually cut off from the fifth dimension, everything in the fifth dimension is operating from a place of a Etherian force, your etheric core, which is facilitated by carbon, lithium, sulfur, helium, hydrogen, exon, and radon, argon, and krypton. And those 9 noble gases is basically the personification of the octave elements that creates a manifestation of polarizations of principles that creates third density in itself. So what I'm saying is like, the magnetosphere is where your form of creation sparks from. But when you're encapsulated inside of a dome, you're no longer in your etheric form. You're in a state of third density, which is physical matter. So that's what creates the dynamic action between, the polarities of everything that's in a fixed position reality, right?
But they have just been very much stymied or very much lessened to a very high degree, and the sun is bursting through all of this, and we're starting to feel who we truly are. That's why it's very important for you to be very authentic, for you to be living on your life path right now. A lot of people are going to ask, why are you doing that? Or they're going to be haters, or there's going to be people coming in the way, but you just need to live your life. And a lot of people are also going to say, what is this love thing? Why are you shouting or talking about this love frequency? But you need to live it. You need to show other people that the highest frequency on this earth, the highest way to manifest anything, is the love frequency. This is where your soul sits. Your soul sits in your heart. And it's nowhere else. You're not this body. You're not this person or this persona that you created yourself to be, but you can still use this flesh suit, you can still use this body to partake in the God play, in this universal play that we're playing in, and have some fun. Make sure to rest up, and yeah guys, I wanted to end it here. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi guys, I wanted to share a clip from a geophysicist who explains more in detail how the Schumann frequencies are affecting us and initiating us into our spiritual, higher selves more deeply.
Schumann resonances are vibrations lower down, closer to the surface of the earth, and then they can bleed into the atmosphere and the troposphere where we live. So these are energies that are closer to the solar wind, closer to outer space, and therefore very likely have a greater connection to some of those other outside influences like the solar system, the planets, the sun, even the cosmos overall. And so they have this very unique frequency structure where they have these very low frequencies, but they can also bleed into the high frequencies. We, for example, see this big activation there of mode 6 at 39 hertz. And so this is very, very unique. The Schumann resonances are still propagating across. You see that they're higher power. This could very much manifest as just much stronger consciousness and focus and activity with your actual day-to-day because you have just greater brainwave power. You could feel more on top of it. It could be a little bit too stimulating. It could also kind of burn you out if you're not used to these energies. That is that great initiation. It requires time to integrate this. What we also saw were some geomagnetic pulsations. These are extremely low frequency. You have this data here out of the United Kingdom near Scotland, and these are low, very low frequency transient increases in the electromagnetic field as well. So they show up as these bursts of energy there. If you look specifically at our frequency, there's mode 1 of the Schumann resonance. Here's our local time, or UTC time, going up. This data specifically is for the 4th of January. So this is just yesterday. We see mode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, goes on. They have this filter applied below 2 hertz. So anything below 2 hertz all of a sudden gets filtered down. So it's easier to see this data here. But we see these at the same time. That is completely altering our bioelectricity. And I would think, my intuition is telling me that's very much activating latent, dormant parts of ourselves and our DNA that have been waiting for this moment. We see these geomagnetic pulsations also occur here, again, overlapping with mode 1, the Schumann resonances, also some others up here, and a general bleeding of the energy too. We see them kind of expand. The bands, the frequency power bands, the Schumann resonances kind of getting wider. So you may have been experiencing just how different kind of modes and operating thoughts in your general like default mode network that you run on has kind of expanded outwards. Maybe you felt meditated, but also very much focused and locked in. Two things which typically would be kind of contradictory to each other, but now they're both possible at the same time.
Patanjali Yoga Sutra 51 states that by non-attachment to even psychic powers, the seeds of bondage are destroyed and independence gained. For any development of clairvoyance and psychic abilities, Patanjali talks heavily about practicing samayama, which entails practicing yoga asanas, breath
exercises, pranayama, meditation, and practicing mudras, kriya, and bahanda. A quick rundown of samayama is that there are 3 actions going on at the same time focusing on an object. A quick example of how this works is found in the Zen story, Beauty and the Art of Meditation, which shows how samayama works. A Zen monk, Tara, begins samayama on a tree. The first action is concentration, dharana. Concentrating on the tree, then giving her full attention, non-dual absorption, to the tree, dhyana. And finally, she is able to merge with the tree, samadhi. This is how samayama works. As a daily practice, you can start by focusing on a tree, a flower, or a cup of water to heighten any psychic powers. Become one with the element, a living being, and feel the connection to it for at least 10 minutes with no pause or no thoughts. Unfortunately, most people are not disciplined enough to do such a thing, yet the rewards are there if you develop such a practice. It is stated that samayama on the light at the crown of the head, the yogi has visions of perfected beings. If you haven't tried already, find a comfortable space, lie down, and discover what the top of your head feels like, as well as the space that is behind your forehead. A quick experiment is to think of things that worry you, and next, try it with things that uplift and inspire you. Notice how your internal experiences changes. Most likely, as you think of more uplifting, harmonious things, you will find that light and peacefulness within. As you continue to practice each day, you will enhance this inner light, and when you stay with this inner radiance in your head, you become more conducive to clarity and can dance with the Creator's messages for you in the forms of signs, symbols, synchronicities, but moreover, enhancing psychic abilities. The light from the crown of the head that is achieved during samayama also applies to using the light within. To become with the light, you will experience this during meditation or a kundalini awakening, as Patanjali says in his book, that allows you to have this all-knowing and access to the unseen. Lastly, according to Patanjali, when samayama is interconnected with the power of perception, along with the senses and the person's overall ego, it institutes complete mastery of the ego, thus having more mastery over thoughts and not falling victim to the senses. This is more arduous than light coming from the crown chakra or within, but once mastered, it enhances clairvoyance and psychic abilities to a great degree. I hope this helps all seekers who are willing to go down the straight and narrow path of enlightenment and be on their journey of joy, discipline, and constant seeking and questioning.